another $50 million Russell Wilson is now on the verge of not winning the division. The Ravens are able to be in control of that, and they could be one and done in the playoffs. It just does not at all look good. Chase, you're the quarterback, 14 years in the NFL, invaluable experience we get to have with you on this show. So should the Steelers still trust their quarterback, Russell Wilson?
Yeah, I mean, they should. Look, mistakes have been made the last couple weeks. They're 0-3 in their last 3 games. They're 2-4 in their last 6. When they started 8-2, and Russ was a part of that, we were like, hey, this is the answer. This is still the answer, guys. Like, he has turned the ball over at inopportune times, meaning red zone turnovers is something that you cannot do. Back-to-back weeks now with red zone turnovers. Last week was a fumble. This week, an errant throw. But when you talk about do you trust your quarterback, sometimes when you turn the football over, you lose confidence. Russell Wilson's been through stuff like this in his career, so I'm not worried about it. What I am worried about, and we'll get to it later, but I want to throw it out there. Since week 12, that defense has allowed 27.7 points per game.
Not good.
27.7 points a game. So when you're on offense and you're a quarterback and you know your defense is not playing well, and you know their defense is not the Pittsburgh Steelers defense of old or what we're used to, sometimes you press. And when you press as quarterbacks, you make bad plays. That's what I think is happening with Russell Wilson.
I was with you until the last 2 sentences because I can't blame the defense for Russell Wilson's fumbles. I won't blame the defense for Russell Wilson's red zone interception. I don't trust Russell Wilson to get the Steelers where I thought he was going to get them to, which is an AFC Championship game. Now, let me make it abundantly clear. I trust Russell Wilson to still be the starter. Trust him to do that. I don't think the Steelers should move on to Justin Fields by no stretch of the imagination. That's not what I'm saying. But what I am saying is Russell Wilson is not helping the Steelers do what he was helping them do, which is win games. Last week, going into score, you fumble. Like James said, he was just trying to do too much. This week, early on, you're down 13-0. You throw a bad interception. You can't do it. And then here's the other thing I have with Russ. It's like his mind is willing, but his flesh is weak. Russ, you no longer have the ability to escape the pocket like you once did. Fumble, first drive of the game. He recovers it, thank goodness. Then third drive of the game, if I'm not mistaken. The exact same thing happened. Russ, you no longer have the athleticism to spin out, rush, and still pick up these yards. Old Russ, you tuck that, you run that, you either draw the defender, you jump it off to a receiver for a big gain, or the defender stays on his coverage and you run for plus 15. New Russ, 36-year-old Russ, that turns into a sack. So I no longer trust Russ to do what I thought he could do. Now, again, Pickens was out for 2 of the losses. Yesterday, I don't think Pickens was probably at full speed. The defense has not been good, but I still have to address the fact that, because we will talk about the defense later, Russ has not been good enough, Shady.
Okay, so I disagree.
With what part?
With all of it. I'm about to tell you, so take your time. First of all, I still think Russ is, I still trust him. I think Russ is still solid.
Yeah.
Right? The Steelers, their identity is what?
Defense. Defense.
It's defense. Okay, so let's put that in there. How have they been?
Not good.
Okay, so
points a game.
I watched them against my Eagles. I couldn't believe it. We kind of did what we want to do. Okay, you played the Ravens. We just talked about how great Lamar Jackson's playing. You couldn't really contain him at all. And then yesterday with Patrick Mahomes, I mean, y'all seen what that was about. Okay, that's the defense part. What else was the Steelers known for? Running the ball, right? Najee Harris, respectfully, because I like the young brother. He's not it. Do y'all agree with that?
Yeah. Sure.
Yeah.
So you don't have a running game. Okay. Offensive line. Oh, my God.
Struggled.
How bad are they?
They've struggled.
Yo, one of the things that Chase talked about in the beginning of this season, he said Justin Fields should be the starting quarterback, not because he's a really good quarterback or better than Russell Wilson. Is why, Chase?
He can get out of pressure.
Because of?
The offensive line.
It's terrible.
In Pittsburgh was really.
So when I look at the Steelers, though, right, because I like to always, what are the best points about this team or the weakest points about this team?
Yeah.
So when I go from the weakest points of the team, it's all these other positions. Russ is probably the best thing for this team right now.
No, can't agree with
so
that.
what would you go? Okay, let's slowly do it then, right?
TJ Watt still is forever.
Okay, yeah, I mean, but that's I mean,
he's part of that.
I don't even use him. But as far as the defense, they're not playing well.
They're not.
Offense line's not playing. And then the wide receivers, Pickens was gone for 2 of them games. They played
3 weeks.
Teams that could possibly be in a Super Bowl. They played the Eagles, they played the Ravens, and he came back against the Chiefs, right?
Yep.
As I watched the wide receiver crew, who they got? They not getting open? You keep talking about Russ can't do this. They not even getting open.
Mike Williams, Van Jefferson.
Come on, I'm just being
Calvin
honest here.
Austin's good,
and
but-
then the last thing about Russ is when you're a really good player and your offense is not that good, you got to make plays because if you don't, who's going to make it? So there's sometimes I can see Russ kind of pressing. You scrambling, right? You scrambling trying to make a play because nobody else in the offense can make any plays. Hold on, let's get there.
Yep.
So now you scramble, you get the fumble. But I did see him scramble yesterday and get a touchdown
on the corner.
I did see that. Got out of pressure. Nobody's open. He scored. All I'm saying is this, man. I'm not going to keep going back and forth with it. Russ is still a solid quarterback. But for Russ to be successful, because he is a little older, for him to be successful, he needs a good defense. The main thing we got Russ for is, hey, listen, we got a good defense. We're going to try to run this ball. We need you to make some plays. That was the agreement. Yeah. Well, everybody else is not holding up their part of the agreement.
Yeah. Okay.
You see what I'm saying? So for Russ to be successful, he needs to be in a nice, solid system.
And he's pressing. That's where the turnovers come.
You got to press because the Russ making no plays.
The dilemma with me is, again, that's absolving Russell Wilson of his part of this.
No, it's not.
Yesterday, I can't suggest he threw that pick because he was pressing. That is a lie. He threw the pick because he did not see the backside safety. Now, you could suggest George Pickens should have held the backside safety, but I can't come on camera and just be like, Russ is pressing. It's everybody else's fault.
He shouldn't have made that throw in the first place. Acho, check the ball down, take points. So that's pressing, though, because you're trying to make a play because you know you're chasing points, though. This is a fact. As a quarterback, I've lived it.
I'm not suggesting that you're not chasing points. What I'm suggesting is every interception that a quarterback makes or every fumble that a quarterback makes when they are trailing can't be because they're pressing.
I'm not saying every one is. This one, there's no way you should be throwing that ball.
So really quick, because, I mean,
keep rolling it.
Freiermuth is one of his better targets out there, right? So even when we talk passing games, they go George and they go Freiermuth.
Yeah. He did fumble.
So I understand that, but let's slow down a little bit. All right. Russell Wilson in 3 games got 2 interceptions. Let's relax a little bit.
Fumble 2, red zone.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, when we talk about throwing the ball, we talk about pressing. He has 2 picks in 3 games, and they've been down in all these games. Number one, you play the best team in the NFC. You possibly could have lost that game. You did. You play one of the best teams in the AFC with the best quarterback in the planet right now, Lamar Jackson. And then you play clearly the best team in the USFL, the XFL, the NFL.
The last 5 years.
Arena football, it don't matter. In the Kansas City Chiefs, it's going to happen.
Lost by double
Russell
digits.
Wilson, I still trust in Russell Wilson. I trust in Russell Wilson this year, and I trust in Russell Wilson for the future. I think Russell Wilson for the Pittsburgh Steelers is, for the next 3 years, their quarterback. But like Shady said, everybody else got to hold up their part. Russell Wilson is not going to dominate every single game. Now, my main thing is they not playing Pittsburgh Steelers football, period, in any phase. 90 points in 3 weeks for a Pittsburgh Steelers defense.
Yeah, it's not good.
Here's the vexation I have with this conversation. It is the point of acquiring Russell Wilson is to be able to avoid some of this, not all of this, right? Like, this is conversations we had when Mitch is the quarterback or when Pickett is the quarterback or when Trubisky's the quarterback. The conversations we have is, come on, defense, I need you to be better. Come on, running game, I need you to be better. Come on, everybody else, I need you to be better. Just make it simple because the agreement is the quarterback's not supposed to be that good or do that much. I don't feel comfortable having this conversation about a future Hall of Fame quarterback. Not saying Shady's wrong or anybody's wrong. I actually think you're right. But these are conversations we would have about Justin Fields. This is a conversation we'd be having about Fields. No. Come on, defense, do better. Come on, running game, do better. Make it easy on the quarterback. Make it easy on the quarterback.
I think you're starting to see a little bit of limitation toward Russ, and you actually, Shady, hit on it perfect. When you're like, they started really well. They're 2-4 in their last 6 games. I think the tape is out a little bit on this offense and what they could do. Now, without having George Pickens, that's a huge loss. But Russell Wilson, for his entire career, has been a let's read number 1, let's read number 2, let's take off.
Let's dance, yeah.
Let's dance and let's take off. Now, I've seen teams playing more man-to-man coverage because they don't have Pickens. Pickens is a moon ball.
Come on now.
And because of that, you're number 1 in man-to-man. If it's not open, you're taking off.
Yep.
You aren't getting a number 2 in man-to-man. That's not how it works in this league. If you pick and stick in man-to-man coverage, it takes a little bit longer. This offensive line can't hold up. And I think that's how teams are beating them. And I think that's what you have to look at going forward. Can they break the mold of what defenses have been doing to them the last 6 games? Because that's the issue. They're taking away number 1 and number 2. And Russ is trying to run. He took 5 sacks yesterday.
Yeah, the issue is takeaways. That's the issue.
Over.
The Pittsburgh Steelers don't lose the turnover battle in football games. Nope. That is why Mike Tomlin has not had a losing season since he's been the head football coach, because they do not lose the turnover battle. Lately, these last 3 games, they've been losing the turnover battle. You're playing the Eagles, it's 20-13. Your ball. You in the red zone. Najee fumble. That's not on Russ. They are losing games strictly because, like I say, they are not playing the Pittsburgh Steelers style of football, even with Russell
James,
Wilson out there.
7-7, Baltimore Ravens, Russ fumble. 13-0, Kansas City Chiefs, Russ pick. Then it goes 13-7. If that Russ pick in the red zone is a touchdown or just a field goal, at least it's 13-10. If the Russ fumble is a field goal, they were in field goal range, it's 10-7, Steelers are winning. Obviously, I believe in momentum. I think momentum changes. It's not all Russ's fault. I don't even think it's majority Russ's fault.
No.
I just think Russ could play better. That's really
No
all.
doubt.
That's the question. Yeah, he can say that. Everybody can play better, but it's like when we talk about culture and we talk about all these coaches, it's okay, the Chiefs, let's use them for example, even though they are the best, but like, so for a while, everybody kept arguing, especially you, like, well, how good are they really? Because they only win these, they win in their 14-1 and all that, but close games, one score type of games. Well, cool, right? But our identity is to win. So now we've been doing the close games. So now when we get healthier, we get everybody back. Now we on a regular scheduling, we blowing teams out. We just seen them do that to the Steelers. Let's go to the Steelers now. Why have identity if we're not going to follow it? Defense. I don't care who the quarterback is. Yo, we are who we are. We play defense here. I don't care if we got Patrick Mahomes. We play defense. Yeah. And if we have a really good quarterback, like Russ is, then we might blow teams out or get comfortable wins or comfortable in the playoffs like they are this year. So what I'm saying is, even though he has been playing, I guess, well for the last 3-4 games, but even when he was a starter, the defense did their part of the bargain, right? And then Russ did the extra stuff, making these plays. Now we're winning. Now we were, what, 6-0?
They got 8-2.
Mm-hmm.
You get what I'm saying? So when you do your part, then I can do my part. And that's what the Steelers are.
What up, YouTube family? Welcome to the facility. Thanks for watching, and you better be sure to hit that subscribe button if you want to get more highlights from the show and all of our exclusive content.